Hey there, America. Remember tariffs? That dusty old lever in the global trade machine that can send economies spinning? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because they're back, and boy, are they making a splash. Reciprocal tariffs, to be precise. Basically, it's the you want to go, bro, of international trade. One country slaps tariffs on imports, another country, or 5 or 50, says, oh, it's like that, and returns the favor with tariffs of their own. This whole shebang kicked off during the Trump administration. Remember those heady days of trade wars are easy to win? Well, the idea was to use tariffs as a bargaining chip to strong-arm other countries into making trade deals more favorable to, you guessed it, America. But like trying to fix a leaky faucet with a hammer, things got a little messy. So, grab your hard hat and your sense of humor. You're going to need it as we wade into the wild world of reciprocal tariffs and their global impact. It all started innocently enough, well, as innocently as a trade war can start, in February 2025 with Trump's Fair and Reciprocal Plan, which, let's be honest, sounds like the name of a dating app for protectionist dictators. Then on April 2nd, bam, a 10% baseline tariff on almost every country the US trades with, plus some bonus tariffs for 57 countries just for flavor. Liberation Day, as it was not so affectionately dubbed, caused the global stock market to do its best impression of a lead balloon. The US bond market didn't fare much better, with the 10-year yield skyrocketing to a level that would make even the most hardened economist sweat. A few days later, the US offered a temporary reprieve, suspending the country-specific tariffs for 90 days. But because every good story needs a villain, China found itself on the receiving end of a tariff hike to a whopping 125%. To complicate things further, the US decided to play favorites, exempting some electronics like smartphones, laptops, and TVs from the tariffs. Because, hey, who wants to pay more for their doom-scrolling devices, right? Unsurprisingly, the rest of the world wasn't exactly thrilled about the US throwing its weight around. China, with its economy already feeling the heat, saw its projected GDP growth plummet. Meanwhile, India, with its more domestically driven economy, weathered the storm a bit better, but still took a hit. The EU, Canada, and Mexico, caught in the crossfire, retaliated with tariffs on US goods. It was like a trade war version of that scene in where they cut up their shirts, except instead of shirts, it was economies. The US, apparently surprised that its trading partners weren't rolling over, launched investigations into the national security threat posed by, wait for it, semiconductors, pharmaceuticals, and processed minerals, because nothing says national security like a global shortage of lithium for your Tesla. So what did all this tariff-happy chaos mean for the average Joe, or Gian, or Juanita, or Jean-Pierre? Well, for starters, prices on everything from cars to computers went up. Supply chains, already strained from years of pandemic-induced chaos, went into full meltdown mode. Companies started playing musical chairs with their production facilities, trying to find the least tariffed place to do business. The global economy, already on shaky ground, started to resemble a game of Jenga played by someone who'd had one too many espressos. Global GDP growth projections plummeted, and even the US economy, which was supposed to be winning this trade war, started to look a lot less triumphant. The moral of the story? Trade wars are messy, unpredictable, and rarely have winners. But hey, at least we learned a valuable lesson about the law of unintended consequences, and who knows, maybe someday all this economic turmoil will make a killer episode of. Stay tuned.